Have you ever stood up from your favorite recliner and felt like your legs just didn't have the strength they used to? Maybe there was a little wobble, a moment of hesitation, or even a small fear that you might lose your balance. If that rings true, you're not alone. And more importantly, there's something you can do about it, starting right from the comfort of your chair. As we age, many things begin to shift. Our eyesight changes, our joints get a little stiffer, and sometimes our energy dips lower than we'd like. But one of the most overlooked and most dangerous changes is the gradual weakening of our legs. It often creeps up quietly. One day you're walking up the stairs just fine, and the next, you're holding onto the railing a little tighter. Or you notice it takes a bit more effort to get out of bed in the morning or stand after dinner. You might chalk it up to just getting older, but let me tell you something important. Weak legs are not something you just have to live with. Here's why this matters so much. After the age of 65, weak legs are responsible for nearly 90% of falls in older adults. And falls are no small issue. A fall can mean a broken hip, a long hospital stay, or months of rehab. Even worse, it can shake your confidence and independence. Many people stop doing the things they love, not because they don't want to, but because they're afraid of falling. They stop walking as far, avoid the garden, or turn down trips with family. That loss of freedom can lead to more sitting, which weakens the legs even further. It becomes a frustrating cycle that's hard to break. But here's the good news. You can take back control. You can stop that decline and even reverse it. And no, you don't need to join a gym or push through painful workouts. In fact, today, we're going to focus on 5 incredibly simple seated exercises that you can do at home. These exercises are safe, gentle, and powerful. They're perfect for anyone over 60, especially if standing for long periods or walking long distances feels like a challenge. The goal here isn't just to exercise. It's to build real, functional strength that helps you get out of a chair, walk with confidence, climb a few stairs, or steady yourself on uneven ground. These are the kinds of exercises that help prevent falls and make everyday life feel easier. And we'll start slow, together, step by step. Before we begin the first exercise, let's talk quickly about why seated exercises work so well. When you sit in a sturdy chair, you take pressure off your joints and reduce the risk of losing balance. This makes it possible to work your muscles, especially the thighs, calves, and hips, without straining your knees or ankles. Think of it like strength training with a safety net underneath you. You're still getting all the benefits, just without the risk of falling. Now, find yourself a firm, straight-back chair. Something like a dining room chair is perfect. You'll want your feet flat on the ground and your back supported. Take a deep breath in. Let it out slowly. Feel your feet grounding into the floor. That's your base. Let's begin with the first exercise, and this one's all about the thighs. These are your quadriceps, the big muscles in the front of your legs. These muscles do a lot of heavy lifting in your daily life. They help you stand up, sit down, climb stairs, and support your knees when you walk. Strengthening them is key to keeping you mobile and independent. Here's what we'll do. While sitting upright in your chair, slowly lift your right leg straight out in front of you until it's parallel with the floor, or as close as you can get. Don't worry if it doesn't go that high at first. Just do your best. Hold that leg up for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and gently lower it back down. Now switch to the left leg. Raise it slowly, hold, and lower. Aim for about 10 repetitions on each side. Go at your own pace. You should feel the muscles in your thighs working. That's a good sign. They're waking up. Remember, consistency is more important than perfection. You don't have to get it all right on the first try. Just showing up and trying each day is what builds strength over time. Now, take a moment to shake out your legs a little. Wiggle your toes, roll your ankles, and take another deep breath. You're doing great. Our second exercise focuses on the calves. These muscles are smaller but absolutely essential for balance. Your calves help you push off the ground when you walk, and they're also a big part of what keeps you from tipping over when you stand. Plus, strong calves help improve circulation in your legs, which can reduce swelling and that heavy leg feeling some people get after sitting too long. Here's the movement. Keep your heels planted firmly on the ground and lift your toes toward the ceiling. Hold for a second, then lower them back down. Do this about 15 times. You'll feel a gentle pull along the front of your lower legs, which is exactly what we want. If that feels too easy, you can try doing it a little faster or holding the toes up a bit longer each time. And don't forget to breathe. When you're finished with the toe lifts, let your feet rest flat on the floor again. Sit back for a moment and notice how your legs feel. You might already feel a gentle warmth or tingling. That's your blood flowing and your muscles starting to wake up. Now, a quick word about motivation. It's easy to feel discouraged if you've been dealing with weakness or balance problems for a while. You might be thinking, is this really going to make a difference? The answer is absolutely yes. But the magic isn't in doing 100 repetitions today. It's in doing just a little bit every single day. These movements don't take more than 10 or 15 minutes, and the benefits add up faster than you'd think. If you're someone who likes routines, you might find it helpful to pair these exercises with something you already do every day. Maybe you can do them in the morning while the coffee brews, or in the evening while watching TV. You could even invite a spouse, friend, or grandchild to join you. It can turn into a little shared activity that brings joy along with strength. And here's something else to keep in mind. These exercises don't just help you physically. Many people find that as their legs get stronger, their mood improves too. They feel more in control, more optimistic, and more willing to try new things. Confidence is a powerful thing, and it often starts with small physical wins. So far, we've started waking up your thighs and your calves, two of the most important muscle groups for keeping you on your feet and out of harm's way. But we're not done yet. There are more muscles to work on, more strength to build, and more tools I want to give you so you can feel steady, strong, and sure-footed once again. All right, now that we've gotten our toes and ankles warmed up and moving again, let's take that momentum a little further. The truth is, when you've been dealing with leg weakness or stiffness for a while, the hardest part isn't physical, it's mental. It's that little voice that says, this is just how it is now, or I'm too old to get stronger. But I want to remind you right here and now, strength doesn't disappear overnight, and it's never too late to get some of it back. In fact, your body is constantly listening to how you treat it. And these exercises, they're a way of telling your body, I'm not done yet. So let's move into something that really targets the big muscles, the thighs. These are the muscles that support you when you stand, when you walk, and when you get up from a chair. If you've ever found it harder to get up from a low seat or needed to hold on to something to get out of bed, chances are your quads and hamstrings need some love. And the best part is, you don't need to do squats or climb stairs to wake them up. One of the simplest exercises you can do from a seated position is the leg lift and hold. Sit tall in a sturdy chair, feet flat on the floor, knees at a 90-degree angle. Slowly extend one leg out in front of you so it's straight, foot flexed. Hold it there for a few seconds, then gently lower it back down. Try this 5 times on each leg. What's happening here isn't just movement. It's building endurance in the muscles that support your knees and help you stay upright. And don't worry if your leg trembles a little or feels heavy at first. That's just your muscles saying, hey, we're still here. As you're doing this, keep your back upright and avoid leaning too far forward or backward. That seated posture adds a nice bonus. Your core gets activated too. It's all connected. When the muscles in your legs and core start to fire up together, you'll be amazed at how much more stable you feel throughout the day. These aren't just exercises, they're building blocks for independence. Now, while we're seated and working on the front of the leg, let's not forget the back. The hamstrings, those long muscles behind your thighs, are often neglected, especially when we sit a lot. And if those muscles weaken, your ability to balance and walk with confidence can suffer. So here's a gentle seated move that works wonders, the seated hamstring curl. Sit upright and place a resistance band or towel looped around your ankle if you have one. Though even without it, this exercise still works. Slide your foot backward under the chair as far as is comfortable, hold it for a moment, then bring it back forward. You're mimicking the movement of pulling your heel toward your backside, but while seated. Do this about 8 to 10 times per leg. Over time, it strengthens those back of the thigh muscles that help you lift your foot off the ground and prevent tripping. What's beautiful about these movements is they're so simple. You can do them while watching TV, listening to music, or even during a phone call. And if you're worried about remembering them, don't be too hard on yourself. Repetition builds not just strength in your body, but also muscle memory. The more you make this a part of your daily routine, the more automatic it becomes. Let's take a little moment here to pause and just appreciate something. You're showing up for yourself. You're putting in effort to stay strong, to stay safe, to take control of your health. no matter your age or past. That's something to be proud of. And if this video is helping you, consider clicking the like button so it reaches more folks like you. And if you know someone, a spouse, a friend, a sibling, who's been struggling with balance or fear of falling, share this with them. Sometimes, the simple act of passing along support can spark a whole new chapter for someone. Now, back to business, because we're not done yet. One area that's often overlooked is the inner thigh. These muscles play a key role in side-to-side stability, which is something most people don't think about until they lose it. You've probably heard of people shuffling as they walk or feeling wobbly when stepping sideways. That's inner thigh weakness showing up. But we can tackle that too, right from your chair. Let's try a seated pillow squeeze. Grab a small pillow or even a rolled-up towel. Place it between your knees while sitting tall in your chair. Now gently squeeze your knees together. Hold for 5 seconds and release. That squeeze activates the inner thigh muscles, also known as your adductors, which help control your legs and keep your steps aligned. Do this about 10 times if you can. And if you feel a little warmth or tightness in your thighs after, that's good. It means you're waking those muscles up again. These inner thigh muscles don't just help you walk with better balance. They also protect your hips and knees by keeping everything aligned. So even though this might feel like a small move, it plays a big role in your overall strength. And here's the kicker. Doing this regularly can reduce that jelly leg feeling when you get up too fast or try to change directions quickly. One thing I often hear from folks over 65 is, I'm afraid to fall, but I also don't feel stable enough to exercise. And that fear is real. But what we're doing here is safe movement. We're building strength while reducing risk, because these exercises are done while sitting down. No standing, no balancing on one foot, no jumping around. Just simple, steady strength building that gives you more control over your body again. And here's a little tip to keep things fun and motivating. Try to pair your exercises with something you enjoy. Do your leg lifts during your favorite morning show. Practice the pillow squeeze during a phone call with your grandkids. You don't have to set aside an hour a day or go to a gym to see results. A few minutes, a few movements, every day, that's where the magic happens. Let's also talk for a moment about what you might feel as these muscles start to strengthen. You may notice better posture. You might find it easier to get up from the couch. You might even catch yourself walking a bit taller, more confidently. Those aren't just happy coincidences. They're signs that your muscles are doing their job again. And don't be discouraged if things feel a little awkward at first. That's completely normal. Just like learning anything new, your body needs time to adjust. Some days might feel easier than others. But every time you move, you're investing in a stronger, more stable future. Now, we've worked the front of the legs, the back, and the inner thighs. We've started to build a foundation of strength that makes walking, standing, and balancing safer and easier. But there's one more critical area we haven't touched yet, and it might surprise you just how important it is when it comes to preventing falls and staying strong. All right, so now that your body's warmed up and we've been waking up those muscles, let's talk about a final move that brings everything together. Think of this one as your grand finale. It's not flashy, it's not loud, but it's one of the most powerful movements you can do to protect your legs and keep yourself steady and strong. It's called the seated leg extension, and I like to think of it as a gentle message to your knees and thighs. Hey, you've still got work to do. Because honestly, once we stop using our muscles, they stop supporting us. That's the truth. But the beauty is, it works both ways. When we start using them again, even just a little, the body listens. The body responds, even in your 70s, 80s, or beyond. So here's how it works. Sit tall in your chair, feet flat on the ground, knees bent. Slowly lift one leg, straightening it out in front of you. Not too fast. We're not trying to win a race. Feel your thigh working. Hold it out there for a few seconds, if you can, and then lower it slowly back down. Then do the other leg. That's it. You can do it while watching TV, listening to music, or even chatting with a friend on the phone. You don't need a gym. You just need consistency. And here's the kicker. These little lifts, they're sneaky strong. Over time, they build up the quadriceps, the muscles at the front of your thighs, which are crucial for walking, standing up from a chair, and keeping your knees stable. And if you've ever felt that scary wobble when getting up or going down a step, you know how important that stability is. Now, you may be thinking, well, I can only lift my leg a little, or my knees hurt when I do that. That's okay. You can modify. Try lifting it just a few inches. Use your hands to help support your thigh if needed. The point is to engage the muscle. Even a small effort makes a big difference when you're consistent. And that's what we're aiming for here. Steady, gradual improvement. Not perfection. I once spoke to a viewer who told me, I started with just 3 reps on each leg. That's all I could do without shaking. But I kept at it every morning. A month later, I was doing 10 without breaking a sweat. That's the kind of quiet success story that doesn't make headlines, but changes lives. And I want that for you. Now let's take a deep breath and think about something important. Everything we've talked about, the ankle pumps, the seated marches, the knee lifts, the calf raises, and now the leg extensions. Each one targets different muscles, but together they create a strong foundation. They're like the legs of a table. If one is missing, the table wobbles. But if all are strong, that table is rock solid. And that's what we're building, your foundation for independence. This isn't about looking like an athlete or running marathons. It's about standing tall in your kitchen without fear of falling. It's about being able to walk confidently down the sidewalk, knowing your legs have your back, literally. It's about reclaiming your freedom, one chair exercise at a time. You might not feel the effects immediately. Some days will feel better than others. That's normal. Don't beat yourself up. The goal isn't to push yourself to exhaustion. It's to create a habit that supports your life. And if you miss a day, that's all right too. Just pick it back up the next day. Your body will thank you for it. Now, let's talk briefly about the power of repetition. Most falls don't happen because people are weak all over. They usually happen because of one small misstep. A foot drags. A knee gives out. A muscle doesn't respond quickly enough. That's why these small, targeted moves are so powerful. They sharpen the connection between your brain and your body. They train your muscles to react, to stabilize, to protect you when you need it most. And here's a little tip. Don't be afraid to combine these exercises into a short daily routine. It doesn't have to take more than 10 or 15 minutes. Start with ankle pumps while you're sitting down for breakfast. Do your seated marches during the commercial break of your favorite show. Knock out a few leg extensions before you go to bed. Make it a rhythm, part of your life, like brushing your teeth or making your coffee. One of the biggest myths out there is that getting older means you have to accept being weak, that your legs will just give out eventually, that falling is just part of aging. But that's simply not true. Yes, the body changes. Yes, we slow down, but we can still train. We can still grow stronger. We can still build resilience. I've seen it happen time and time again. Seniors in their 70s, 80s, even 90s, folks who thought their best days were behind them, rediscovering strength in their legs, in their balance, and in their confidence. And that's the real goal here. Not just stronger muscles, but a stronger you. So I want you to ask yourself something. Right here, right now, what would it feel like to wake up in the morning and trust your legs again? To stand up without holding your breath? To take a walk around the block and not worry about every crack in the sidewalk? That's the freedom we're aiming for. And it's within reach. One seated rep at a time. Now, before we wrap things up, let's take a moment to celebrate something important. You showed up. That's huge. Because most people don't. Most people know they should do something for their legs, but they don't. They wait until it's too late, until after a fall, after a fracture, after the confidence is gone. But not you. You're here. You're choosing action. You're choosing strength. That's a big deal. And I want you to keep that energy going. Stay consistent. Be patient with yourself. Encourage others. Share your progress. If you found this helpful, let someone else know, maybe a friend, a spouse, or even your grandkids. Let them know you're working on your legs and feeling stronger every day. You never know, you might just inspire them too. And of course, I'd love to hear from you. What part of today's routine felt the most useful? Which move did you enjoy? Drop a comment down below. I do read them, and your stories help shape this community. We're all in this together, cheering each other on. Make sure you hit that like button if this helped you out. It tells me you want more of this kind of content. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to Primetime Wisdom. We've got more empowering videos coming your way. Simple, safe tips for living better, stronger, and happier after 60. All right, my friend, that's it for today's workout. But remember, this isn't just about the legs, it's about your life. It's about reclaiming control, one move at a time. So keep showing up, keep moving, and above all, keep believing in yourself. Here's to strong legs, confident steps, and the joy of knowing you've still got it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay steady. All right, my friend. If you've made it this far, give yourself a quiet round of applause. No, really. I mean it. You might be sitting in your chair right now, a little tired, maybe a little sore in the thighs or calves. But do you know what else you are? You are showing up. You are doing the work. And that, in itself, is powerful. Because here's the truth most people don't talk about. Strength doesn't start in your muscles. It starts in your mind. It starts the moment you decide, I'm not giving up. I'm not letting age steal my confidence. I'm still in control of how I live, how I move, how I feel. Too many people over 65, especially over 70, have been quietly told to slow down, to sit more, to accept decline as just part of aging. And that message? It's like a slow poison. It creeps in. It makes you question yourself. It makes you afraid to move, afraid to challenge your body. And eventually, that fear becomes reality. But you're breaking that cycle. You didn't just watch this video, you joined in. You moved your legs. You worked your muscles. You challenged the voice in your head that says, I'm too old for this. You proved it wrong. So let me say it again. You are stronger than you think. Now, I want to share a little story with you. It's about a woman named Louise. She's 84. She emailed me after seeing one of our previous videos. She said, I had stopped going outside alone because I was afraid of falling. Even the idea of getting the mail made me anxious. My daughter started calling me every night just to check if I was okay. That's how much I lost my confidence. But then, she decided to try seated leg exercises, just like the ones we did today. Slowly, steadily, she built a routine. She kept a little journal and jotted down how many reps she did each day. A few weeks later, she wrote again, I walked out to my garden today. I haven't done that in 2 years. I didn't hold the wall. I didn't need to sit down after. That's what reclaiming your strength looks like. It's not about lifting heavy weights or running marathons. It's about those quiet victories. The everyday moments that make you feel alive again. Walking without fear. Standing with ease. Climbing stairs with confidence. Dancing in the kitchen if you feel like it. Or even just rising from a chair and saying to yourself, yes, I can. So, if you're watching this and thinking, but I'm not there yet, that's okay. Louise didn't get there overnight. None of us do. But with every leg lift, every ankle pump, every seated march, you are moving forward. Progress might feel slow, but slow progress is still progress. Let's talk about something else, your identity. Because I want to remind you that you are not just a senior. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are not a statistic in a fall prevention brochure. You are a whole person with strength, with history, with purpose, and your body still listens to your choices. When you move your legs, you're sending your brain a message. I'm still in this. I still care. I still want to live well. And your brain, in turn, wakes up. It starts firing stronger signals to your muscles, improving balance, reaction time, and coordination. This is real, measurable science, and it starts with one choice, to move. Now, let me speak directly to the days that feel hard. Because we all have them. The days when you feel stiff, sore, or just unmotivated. Maybe your joints ache more than usual. Maybe your energy's low. Maybe you're just tired of trying. That's when it matters most. That's when you sit down, take a deep breath, and remind yourself, I don't have to do everything today. I just have to do something. Even one rep, even 5 minutes. Even a stretch and a smile in the mirror. That effort? It adds up. It counts. Because real strength isn't built in giant leaps. It's built in small, faithful steps repeated every single day. Now, I'd love for you to do something for yourself today. Just a little reflection. Ask yourself, how did I feel before I started this? How do I feel now, after moving my body? What's one small thing I can commit to doing tomorrow? Maybe it's repeating the 5 seated exercises we did. Maybe it's sharing this video with a friend and doing it together. Or maybe it's writing leg day on your calendar once a week as a reminder that your strength is a priority. Whatever it is, claim it. Own it. Because when we create routines around movement, we don't just build muscle, we build momentum. And momentum is what carries us forward when motivation is low. You know, I once heard someone say, it's never too late to start, but it's always too early to quit. And I couldn't agree more. Whether you're 65, 75, or 95, your body is still yours. It's still capable of change. It still wants to be strong. It just needs a little nudge, a little love, a little attention. And that's exactly what you gave it today. Now, if this video helped you, if it inspired you, encouraged you, or even just made you smile, would you do me a favor? Hit that like button, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to Primetime Wisdom. This is a community of doers, movers, and lifelong learners, just like you. We've got plenty more videos coming your way. Gentle movement routines, balance boosters, tips on aging with strength and joy, and motivational talks to keep your spirit lifted. And I'd love for you to be part of it. And hey, if you're feeling bold, drop a comment below with one win from today. One thing you're proud of. It could be as simple as, I did the whole routine, or first time I moved my legs in a week. Let's lift each other up. Because every time you comment, every time you engage, you're not just encouraging yourself. You're inspiring someone else who's watching quietly from the sidelines. That's the ripple effect of positivity. That's the real strength of this community. So here's what I want you to take away from today. You're not too old to grow stronger. You don't need a gym or fancy equipment, just commitment. Your legs are still listening. Keep talking to them. And most of all, you are not alone in this journey. You are part of a movement of seniors and elders saying, no, I will not be defined by decline. I will be defined by my spirit, by my will, by my strength. And I'll be here every step of the way to remind you. So until next time, keep moving, keep smiling, and remember, you've still got it. Stay strong, stay steady, and take care.